Hello and welcome to She Talk. Today we're going to be talking to the beautiful Manal.
Hi.
We've been having a little bit chit chat behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So we're already on a high mood, high spirit at the moment. Manal, where do you come from?
So I was born and raised here.
Okay.
My mother is from Somalia. My father is from Yemen.
Okay.
But yeah, spent most of my time here in Dubai, and moved to New York for 3 years just for my master's. But that's my background.
Wow. So you were a Dubai baby.
I am a Dubai baby.
Is there?
Yeah.
That's
Some people
nice.
call me Emirati, and I
You
say,
are Emirati.
In essence, yes.
Yeah, you are. You know, yesterday I was actually thinking about it. Imagine if they could actually give like the passport to everyone that was born here. It would have been amazing.
Yeah, I think they've changed that recently, which is amazing. I think it gives a lot of people opportunities. You know, a lot of us have moved here and started families, businesses.
So they've changed it if you have
They've changed it recently, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So if you have your child here, your child is Emirati?
I mean, you can apply for the passport.
Oh,
I believe.
okay.
Yeah,
okay.
there are just like some terms and conditions and things like that.
Okay.
But I think it's definitely opened up.
there.
Yeah, and I love it because it also creates a sense of belonging for us. You know, especially some of us that can't necessarily go back home.
There's no home. This is home.
This is home.
Yeah.
So I think it creates a sense of belonging. And I think that's what everybody needs. Like,
It's amazing that I actually have someone that was born here. Like, I don't think I've actually had... No, I don't think so. I don't think I've had...
Yeah,
like,
I've actually seen everything. I remember
You've seen it all, girl!
Everything. I remember driving to Abu Dhabi. That would take like... It felt like it took 3 hours, 4 hours.
And now...
The highway was empty. It was sand. Like, there was sand. Like, there was sand.
Lots of sand.
Lots of sand. And there was just one tower, the Trade Center.
I think I've heard you say this.
Yeah. I say this all the time.
Yeah, you said it.
Every time someone sends me, it says like E66. I'm like, I don't know where E66 is. Is it after the Trade Center tower or before? Is it on? Which one is it? And so I always.
You knew that she knew the E Sand Road. You knew that one.
I don't know roads. Ask anyone in the UAE, like that was born and raised here. E66, E11, E45, exit 42, like that doesn't work for us. This is very new. And I'm not gonna lie, at first, so a lot of the development happened while I moved to New York and I did my master's. And when I came back, I was getting lost.
Are you serious?
And I remember just parking the car on the side of the road and I cried.
Oh
I was like,
God.
I don't know this. This is too many towers. It took me some time to appreciate it. And then I was like, you know what? In such a short period, we've been able to see all of this.
That's amazing.
At first, I was like, I want home. Like, I just want to go home. I'm lost.
You're already home.
There was bridges and roads and towers and tunnels and underpass. I was like, what is an underpass? And where did this bridge come from?
Yeah.
So,
it's been fast development. Like,
I love it.
Even for us experts, I'm not gonna call you an expert.
I mean,
for us experts, like even being here for 2 years, with the little we've seen, like these other communities popping up, you see a construction going on.
Absolutely.
And in 2 years it's done, and people are literally already in there.
Yeah.
Families in there, singles in, like it's amazing.
But you know what? And that takes us also back to like the basis of which they've decided to create that and to do this, because I feel like it had to happen. And I think that's why you will find a lot of entrepreneurs here in the UAE and in Dubai, because we are given that opportunity, we're given that space to grow, and you get to grow with the country, you get to grow with the city.
The opportunities come in and you can actually find the solutions to it, and then you create a whole revenue.
And it kind of changes with the needs of the community, all expat, UAE nationals, everybody. It just kind of moves with it. Your tone and like with the development and like with your personal like goals that you set for yourself. And I think that is a plus. I think it's just very important to be in a city or a country or an environment that allows you to grow.
That's true.
And that gives you those opportunities. That's not easy.
No, it's
especially
not easy
for a new country. Like, it's not new.
Especially in the Middle
new
East.
development. Yeah, like, let's be honest, like, new development and, like, you know, setting the groundwork for even other GCC countries to kind of, like, follow in the footsteps. And, like, you've got, you know, Kuwait, you've got Saudi.
Yeah. That's true.
It's looking like, what's that city? Atlantis? It's looking like Atlantis. Like, I'm like, this is amazing to see the GCC growing like that and to know. I'm biased, obviously. I'm an Abu Dhabi girl, I'm a Dubai girl, and I'm a UAE girl. So I'm like, I'm biased. We started this. Yeah. So, but you know, I love seeing that. We've come a long way from being seen as whatever it is, like, you know, this, that, or the other. Yeah. And today we're seen as intellectual people. Like, it's a touristic destination. Yeah. It is a place for entrepreneurs. Yeah. It's a place for new businesses, new ideas. Tell me any idea.
You can make it work.
And you can find it here. And you can make it work. And I think
my friend recently told me that you can actually order for shisha. It's an app online. You can actually order it. It's going to bring you the pot, the flavor, the charcoal, and then you can actually rent it for even an hour. I was like, wow, Dubai.
An app?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, Dubai, what is in here?
Yeah.
What was it like for you with your family? How many siblings do you have?
So,
sorry, it's fine.
So I was born in Abu Dhabi. I lost my father when I was 3 years old. After a couple of years, we moved to Dubai, and
your mom.
It's my mom and my sister. Really, that's really it.
That's family.
That's family. And so you would think someone that, of course, was like born and raised here, we would have like this huge network of family and friends. And like growing up, it was very difficult to make friends because everybody was staying and going. Like it was, you know, Dubai at the time was more transit.
Yeah.
Today, Dubai has become a goal, like a lifetime goal destination for many. And so then we moved to Dubai and then went to Sharjah and then we moved back to Dubai.
What happened? Why did you guys move into Sharjah? Was it
for
work?
No, so my mother purchased a house at the Meadows. And Meadows 9.
I love
and
powerful
it was
women.
Oh my God.
I love powerful women. Like, I just love it. And,
but that's the same.
And I feel like our mother set the tone. I cannot trip. I can't even if I wanted to.
Listen.
I can't. The standard
if
is
I tripped, I was one of those kids, like, I fell in my life once on an escalator. I don't know how old I was, but I was a kid. She yelled at me. I remember I never fell again. I said, we are not falling.
We're falling.
We're not falling. I am latching on to the next person in front of me. If I fall, I am, whoever, you better not be close to me because I'm not falling. I'm bringing you down.
Oh my God.
I said, she's, you know,
she set
growing
the tone.
up, she just set the tone. And then she was, you know, she started so many businesses and she, you know, some of them worked, some of them didn't. She has her own stories, like, which are beautiful. I don't want to take away from them, but
I would love to actually interview your mom.
That would be amazing.
I'm sure she has so much, and I would love people to actually learn from people.
You know, she doesn't get enough. What do they say? Flowers.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Well, you know the term.
Yeah, I know.
So, that term.
Yeah.
But, you know, and that's why a lot of the times when I want to put myself, you know, out there and have conversations, I bring her story forward because it's like, it's because of her I am here. You know what I mean? It's literally, she's like crafted the person I am through little things, like giving me a map. We would travel to Europe and she would give me the map or she would give me the passports. Yeah. And I realized that today time, I give my kids the passports. I give them the map. I'm like, what's the plan today? I let them plan ahead. And I feel like it's those like small little things. It wasn't about the hours and hours that we spent together. Yeah. It was more about the impact of those little moments. How
many kids do you have?
3.
3?
Yeah.
Oh, how old are they?
12, 10 and 9.
Wow. Yeah. I wish my kids are 5 and 2. Like whenever I speak to any mom that has like teenage, how is it like? I want to know. You're almost there.
I'm almost there. And I'm not going to lie, I'm going through separation anxiety. And they haven't even left my home.
Oh my God.
You know, obviously that brings up as well, like, you know, issues like guilt. You know, we spend time at work. And so, you know, I've got obviously my family business. I've got my own like.
What's your family business?
So we do furniture, flooring and furniture. She started it like 33 years ago.
My age.
In industrial.
My age.
In the industrial area in Sharjah.
Wow, your mom is a soft cookie.
And like I think till now I've looked around. There are no women except me and her.
Wow.
In the industrial area. I mean, maybe like other, you know, staff or whatever, but like any business owners still.
Ground
yeah, no one there. And I also, we recently, I've partnered with one of my friends. We do pet furniture.
Okay.
It's called Cozy Pets. And then I've got another one where I've also
partnered with
a friend of mine. Well, she is the founder. Okay. And so then I decided I was going to like, you know, I think we could do this together. We do picnic setups, we do events. Okay. So I'm dabbling a little bit here, there, and everywhere.
I think as a woman and as a woman in general, whether you're a mother, whether you're a single woman chasing your career, I think a woman needs to be independent.
Absolutely.
It's super important. So it's good to actually have your hands here and there, try new things. And Dubai gives all of us that opportunity to try new things.
Absolutely. And I think it's also important to so the reason I did those things is also because they kind of feed the innovative side of me. So because I'm a creative and because I come from an interior design background, it's very difficult for me to sit in an office and do math. Like, I get bored. I will be like, 4 minus 4 is, I can't remember. No, not really, but you know, it took me effort. And I was like, I don't want to do this. I'm not a salesperson. I just want to create. I want to innovate. I started my interior design business for 3 years, and that will take us to another kind of chapter. Yeah. But so when I did that, I was also going through a terrible divorce, and I was pregnant. And so not divorce, so I was going through issues in my marriage, but I was pregnant, and I just started the business, interior design business. We had an office, Citadel Tower, downtown, walking around in meetings, like pregnant, delivered. He got sick. I had the baby, and then I was like, I'm never going through any more arguments. The next argument, I was like, I'm out. So once I made that decision, there was so many decisions to make. I remember that moment being like...
Yeah. I remember I'm also recently divorced, and I can tell you, it's funny, I've never said this before. Guess what? So once the whole process ended, guess what was also over? My Emirates ID.
Girl.
No. Like, I'm serious.
You said,
like,
are you
it's
serious?
Like the marriage ended and then my ID expired.
Do you need a marriage straight license? Do you need to renew?
I don't know how it happened, but it did. And of course, that was a stage where I was frightened. I was like, how am I going to do this? But I did it.
And you did it. Yeah, and look where you are today. And I love that. And that's one of the reasons I was so excited to be here today. It's because, like, we've had conversations before, but you attract power. And it's important to be in spaces where you attract power and you can give. So you give it, and you give women and people, individuals. I'm sure people around you are always feeling empowered and motivated. And it's so important, but it's also important to not stop the cycle, for it to keep going. And that's why I was so excited. I said, we've got it. I said, me. So basically, we were going into like the process of the divorce, and then how I was trying to
navigate? Yeah.
Find my voice.
Let me ask you that question. So how did you navigate the divorce, starting a new business, pregnant? 3 things in one, girl.
And then having 2
other kids
under 4. I had 3 under 4.
Wow.
I had a business. And I was...
And you are Muslim, right?
I'm Muslim.
How did you do it?
I actually have no idea. I remember, like, I have vague memories of, like, being on an airplane, breastfeeding one so his ears wouldn't pop, giving the other one a bottle. I had everything, but I don't know. It's like, it's not a joke. Being a woman is not a joke.
No, it isn't. It's hard work.
The power that we are given, and, like, I am a firm believer of God, and I have so much faith. And I have no doubt, no doubt whatsoever that he's there.
Of course.
Like,
for sure, he is.
Because I don't remember those struggles. When I look back at them, I'm thinking it's like another woman that was going through it. And I don't even give myself, like, we're so go. Sometimes I don't stop and give myself some recognition and credit. But I've recently started to. And I think that's when a shift happened in my life where I was like, no, I've gone through worse.
You did.
This is a simple situation. Like, I've started to weigh out, like, you know, and kind of filter through what really deserves my energy and time and what doesn't. And it became easier because I said, it couldn't be worse than that.
I think as we grow, we should be able to tell what we want to spend most of our energy on. And you actually realize that time cannot be bought. And recently, a very good friend of mine, Nubi, she said, if she gives you your time, that means you are precious. And it's true.
Yeah.
Because time, especially living in Dubai, you can actually be in Dubai and you will never see your friend. You're going to be talking on the phone, WhatsApp and all of that, especially if you guys live not even too close to each other. You can even be in the same apartment building and not even get to see each other.
And not even get to see each other. Some people don't understand that. You know, I've struggled recently with, like, those kind of relationships. I've recently had to say, I'm not okay with this. Because at the end of it, like, and that's why I always say, give other people some grace.
That's true.
And give other people some space to be. They will come back around.
That's true.
If it's the right relationship, right friendship,
it's meant to be.
Business partnership, whatever it is, if it's right, it will take its time, but it will come back around.
That's true.
Just leave it and then let it be, and then it will come back around. But a lot of us want instant changes. We want instant results. We want instant connections. But what we don't understand is, like, women like us, for example, sometimes it will take me days to respond. I'm so grateful for the friendships and the relationships that I have that understand that this is important because, you know, it takes a village, to raise children. And we cannot do anything alone on our own.
Can't.
There's no way.
You can't.
Yes, God is there, but also God puts people in our path. And without those people, you would end up just wallowing in your past and, like, in you know, digging yourself into your pain, your sadness, and all of these things. But if we stop looking at each other as just like individuals, like, just, you are meant to be you serve me, whatever, in friendship, business, you're meant to serve me, as opposed to, thank you for being patient, but I wish you would understand that I am juggling X, Y, and Z.
I'm going through this phase.
And you are too.
Everyone is.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that my life is more important than your life. It just means that my life is a little complex, you know. And there's so many we go through. So it's important to give, you know,
people grace.
Yeah,
it is. So for your mom, in terms of business, what is one thing that you picked from her that is literally guiding you on your business journey? So what we were talking about earlier was, you know, how she started several businesses, and she never gives up. You can't. She never stops and says, oh, this is not going to work. For her, this is going to work. And when it doesn't, she says, I have not taken a risk. And I'm always like, you know, you haven't taken a risk. You want more risks. But do you realize the risks that you want to take now? Like, I'm you know, I'm not ready. Maybe I'm not prepared. I'm not like you, you know. And so I struggle with kind of thinking about, do I really need to wear her shoes? I understand. You know? So if I learn something, it's about just taking your own path, you know, defining, like, your own goals, making sure your risk is part of growth, and taking the step forward. I mean, like I also said before, it was taking
buying a house in Meadows 9. Everybody looked at her like, Meadows 9 was in the middle of nowhere at the time. Like behind JLT, the whole area was a desert. To go see the house, we had to drive. It was a safari drive. It was a safari. I couldn't understand, and everybody said, "Oh, she doesn't want to have anything to do with anyone, so she's moved further away." No, she had vision. She said that's gonna be where it's gonna be, and before she took it, she said, "I want to see the urban plan." Wow. And she looked at it. And I remember we were in Dubai Marina.
I'm definitely gonna have mom on.
Oh my god! I remember looking. When they show you like the plan, and then like this is one day gonna be, the Meadows area, Emirates Hills. This is the new Beverly Hills of UAE. This is the blah blah. And she was like, "Yeah, that's the one." And she said, "I want the corner house." They said it's reserved for someone. She said, "I want it. That's the one I want." Wow. And the guy was like, "Ma'am, we can't." She said,
That's what I want.
That's the one I want. If it's not in the corner, I don't want it. Guy called her the next day. He was like, "You got it. You have it." And then 5 years, I think 4 or 5 years. That's when we moved to Sharjah. Obviously, cut down on costs. She had the business, and she continued working on the business. And every time she failed, she took us on a really amazing trip. I was like, "Yes,
celebrate.
Let's celebrate." She was like, "We start
celebrate
again.
Celebrate the wins. Celebrate the losses. Everything.
This is it, Celebrate." And she always, whenever there's like a difficult situation, she's not the kind of person that gets like a pity party. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, but most of us today, like we're just like, "Oh, today has just been rough. It's been," but no, she doesn't. She's just like, "What's next? What's on the schedule?
The next thing."
And
I love that energy. Yeah. So tell us more about M Home DXB.
So M Home DXB is actually Manal Carpets and Furniture, LLC. But obviously, in today's time, that's not very attractive. Like, even if I heard that name, I'd be like, I don't know if I want to buy from you. So I sat down and I was like, there's nothing wrong with rebranding the name online, rebranding the company. We're still the same company.
The same company.
But rebranding it online so it's more appealing. Yeah. So I started doing that. I started handling the social media. And like, I've just been a little bit more aggressive.
So what do you guys do, like, if I'm a client and I want to reach out to you guys, what do you guys do in specifics?
So the most important thing is, because I'm an interior designer, I communicate very well with interior designers. And I communicate very well with clients. And I know this. I am not gonna, dumb it down.
No, girl, shine bright.
I'm not dumbing it down.
Shine bright.
I went to university. I was hired by my professors while I was still in university.
Wow.
To work with them. Wow. I've met, architects like Carlos Ott, like some of my favorite architects.
Girl power.
Frank Gehry, Frank Lloyd Wright, Le Corbusier. Like, I said, name the architects.
I know them.
I know them. So
you are channeling your passion into a business.
So I've basically tried to merge it. So obviously, when you're dealing with furniture, someone comes, "Can you make this chair?" "Yes, I can." "Can you make the weight?" "Yes, I can." "Can you come and take a look and take the measurement?" It takes away the fun. So what I've decided to do was, I go in, I give concepts, I give free consultation because I could do it, because eventually that client, you're winning them over.
You give that personal touch.
But I also communicate really well with designers.
You really do.
So when an interior designer reaches out to me, they don't have to over-explain something to me. They just give it to me, and I ask all the right questions, and I feel like it saves a lot of time. Same thing, real estate, with real estate agents. Same thing with, holiday homes.
Dubai is literally the place for this.
Who does not want someone that could quickly whip out something without going through let me contact this and this. No,
one-stop shop.
I will specify it. I can do it, and then I will, so I think that's
if viewers are watching this, how can they reach you on Instagram and M Home?
So you can go to M Home DXB on our Instagram page, and you can click the link in the bio. If you send me a DM, that will be me, 100%. That will be me. I don't have any social media manager. I know it needs a lot.
How do you manage it all with 3 kids, business, your beautiful self, your beautiful. How do you do it?
This is gonna come across as a Canva advertisement.
This is a Pinterest
Canva. Is this Canva? Canva. So, I think it's all about time management. So during the day, I'm home. Work in the workshop, clients, I deliver samples, and do everything that needs to be done. And then in the afternoon, I'm, with the kids. Once they sleep at 7:30, 8 o'clock, I sit down, laptop and I kind of plan out what I want to do. Sometimes I'm not organized, and that's okay.
It is.
I said to myself, post when you feel like it. Post when you feel it's the right time for you. That's the first thing, because we haven't been online as
because when your mom started it, she wasn't online. I'm pretty sure she didn't. She was just on the grassroots dealing.
Even though she said, I want a website. I think it was like 1992. I said, ma'am. And so we did a website. Okay. It was what was it? HTTP? What is it?
HTTP.
HTML? What's the old website? I
have no idea. I'm a Gen Z.
The first one.
I'm lying.
The first ones were called was HTML.
Okay.
But you had the stable one, and I can't remember what it was. But anyways, you had that. You would click it, it would go to the next page. It was one of those websites. We had to let go of it 4 years ago. I said, can't have that. Doesn't even load.
Wow. So time management is something that has been working well for you, managing it all with the kids, yourself, business.
Yeah. And I think, and even with the other two businesses, I'm so grateful to be working with my close friends that I know the key is, like I said, like working with the right people, having the right team, and then delegating, because I can't do that. Yeah. And that's something I had to unlearn. So with my mom, she's a micromanager.
That's true.
And so I had to unlearn not micromanaging and delegating. So it's a process.
If you were literally watching this and you were going through a divorce, since you've already been through it, what would you want to tell someone that's actually in the rough stages of a divorce? Or even just a rough stage in life and then handling business, what would you want to tell them?
I will say, stay in it. Stay in that feeling. Stay in that moment. Nothing bad lasts forever, right? Everything is just
time
in this moment. And don't focus on it. Don't have a pity party for yourself. Don't give it too much light. Don't draw in the negative thoughts that you're thinking. Change the language. Change your vocabulary. Be more kind to yourself. Give yourself grace. The same grace that we give others. Give yourself some grace. Extend that to yourself. When it gets messy, let it be messy. If you feel like a terrible mom, feel like a terrible mom.
You are allowed.
It's okay.
And they pass.
And then we teach kids, it's okay to cry. It's okay to feel sad. They break things. We don't necessarily throw them off. You know what I mean? We deal with it, and just go through the motions as they should be in that moment. Just be in that moment. Be centered. And if you're not, go off, take a minute, come back. Whatever that means. We fall.
We rise.
And we rise. And if we start within ourselves, I can just speak to ourselves kindly and change the vocabulary that we use to describe our life. It just, before you know it, it becomes a distant memory. Like I told you, where you're like, how did I do that?
Honestly, I don't think I remember it until I have a conversation with someone. But I don't think I can really go back in that time. I don't think I can.
No. And don't let people tell you what's right and what's wrong.
No, I think every human being, especially as women, we know when it's right and we know when it's wrong.
Yeah.
We actually do know. Yeah. The answer is definitely there. You
definitely.
Know it within yourself.
Yeah. So, don't let people's ideologies and ideas and expectations of you as a mother. A mother should be painting with her kids 24/7. I don't have time. I would love to, but I will do something else to do it. So just to give you an example, when I was going through that, I remembered that, wow, I just remembered it. I had a game to play in the car when I didn't have time and I was running the business. I had games I would play in the car with them on the drive to activities to school. And their words sometimes go through their keywords and like their vowels and things like that in the car.
And these are memories.
And that's it. So it's like fine anytime. It doesn't have to
It doesn't need to be
in
like,
the playroom.
We need to go
between
for brunch.
3 to 4. It's okay if it's not between 3 to 4, girl.
That's true.
If it's at 8, it's fine. If it's 7 o'clock when you're dropping them off, it's fine. If it's in, the washroom, bath, whatever time. Just kids don't time you. Oh, today's 24 hours. You've only spent 1 hour with me. So
that's true.
Thank
you so much for coming here and doing this with us. I'm really glad I did this with you. Thanks, girl.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Can I show